Hey, good afternoon guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just thought we'd do a video answering a whole heap of questions. We're going to go through some of the some of the comments people have put up. We'll skim a few, we'll answer a few, we'll ignore a few, whatever the case may be. Obviously we can't answer them all, and we'll make some more videos to answer a few questions. One of the first things I'd like to make a point of is don't get ripped off. Don't get ripped off. What does that mean? Well, look, it should ring alarm bells when someone requires the vehicle for a lot longer period of time, okay? So you've got to have a base understanding of the work that's getting done and how long it should take, and why does it take that long, A, to perform the work, or why do they need to keep the vehicle that long? Any normal workshop will get the work done in a standard repair time, okay? There's some people that I think make things take longer on purpose to obviously make the job dearer. That's a rip-off. That's what I'm talking about. Don't get ripped off. There's some workshops that keep your vehicle for weeks or months. I don't know if that's how they get away with charging the prices they charge for not doing much necessarily. So that's the first point, don't get ripped off. A little bit of feedback for anybody that's interested, of course, on this brake situation. So just to be really clear, because there's 3 separate videos on it. The first one was a demonstration of the brake squeal. It was coming from the rear brakes on the 120 Prado I drive every now and then, and the 2019 Prado. Seems to be whenever I drive them, definitely every time. Moving off slowly when they're cold, even going forwards, they both get a squeal, obviously. Quite bizarre. We don't have brake squeal issues on Toyotas in general, especially not including Prados. So it was a bit bizarre that you can even have it on 2 cars. So look, anyway, first thing I want to say, actually, I'll just grab this, show you something just here. We've done a lot of brakes, and this is the brand of brake pads we used to use, right? Bendix, right? You can see this is a pretty old chart, you know, it tells you all the different pads and what you use them in and all that sort of thing. So it's a little bit old and all that, but that's what we used to use, and never had an issue with brake squeal. That's why I've never really needed to use any product to rectify the problem. Now, this stuff, the reason we tried that is because I already had it. As I said, I don't know why we had it. It's, like I said, 10 or 15 years old. There must have been a vehicle that was causing some dramas, and at some point we've, in desperation, tried anything. I can't remember if it worked or not, many years ago. So that was still sitting there in our little brake, you know, I've got a box with, you know, all your, anything to do with brake parts, calipers, you know, proper rubber grease and all that sort of stuff if we were rebuilding or repairing calipers. I knew I had that there collecting dust. It did the job. So the first video was showing you the noise, then there was a video, quite a long one, in detail showing you, which I'm not saying that you can safely go and change your pads, but you could use it. If you were going to do your own brakes, you could use that for extra information to assist you in changing your brake pads, and it certainly worked. You saw what we did in the video. If you got any questions on it, watch the video. It's because you haven't watched it. That's why you've got questions. We clearly demonstrated what we did with the product and what product we use and how we applied it. And there'll be, as I said, we're going to try something different. There was some grease that used to be included even with the Bendix pads at one stage. It was a blue type of grease. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I've never had to use band-aid repairs to solve problems in vehicles. That's not to say brakes are never going to squeal. I did notice, not only on a few vehicles, so I was going to say not one, but on a few vehicles, they all happen to have the DBA T2 rotors, and I believe they had Bendix pads, the 4-wheel drive ones here, which we used a lot of, which generally don't squeal, but in reverse when they're cold. They had that similar issue there. So bada bing, I don't know if that was a combination, but it wasn't bad once they warmed up, and it wasn't bad, it was in reverse. This problem we're experiencing, it was bad, it was terrible. Like, it went on for hundreds of meters. If you drove slow and kept your foot on the brake, it was just terrible. Anyway, Seems to be all sorted on one vehicle. Pretty confident that it may work on the other because we want to be different. So we're not even going to use, well, I'm going to do a little bit of research and work out what the actual product is that Bendix was supplying, and if they still do. I assume that worked. I think I've had some feedback over the years about, you need to do that. Well, you can't need to do it if you didn't do it and you didn't have any noise from brakes, but you need to do it obviously if you've got your noise, and it probably works as well. But so we're going to do that, and we might even just use some, well, we're going to find out what sort of grease you can buy in a tube, or if there's a product we've already got that we can use that will do the job, because obviously you don't want to use wheel bearing grease. Maybe it's going to get hot and melt and end up all over everything, over the linings, right? So you've got to be careful what grease you use, so don't just go throwing any sort of grease in there. All right, let's have a quick skim through some questions here. What do we got? Okay. They use an acid wash to get the red dirt off. Okay, that's not a question. I've looked on the channel, can't find information on converter lockup kits. Do you have one? No. What's your opinion on them for fuel economy? Wouldn't make much difference, is my opinion. It may help in some conditions, but fuel economy, it's not going to make much. Just because your torque converter's unlocked, it's revving a little bit more, it's not going to make any difference. It's probably at a better torque position. Might be even better to not have a torque converter lockup. Okay, that's why it doesn't lock. There's conditions where it should lock though, to save the heat. It should be limited or a little bit different on some vehicles. In my opinion, as I've said, the 5-speed and the 1KD works beautifully. You don't need a torque converter lockup kit. It would certainly help keep it cool with some of the steep descents and steep inclines where they do make a bit of heat, but they don't make a lot of heat, and it's usually not for too long, so not a big deal. So there's your answer there. Next one, some food for thought in regards to, looks like some information in regard to those cheap Secura filters. It's probably some write-up, I don't know. I haven't got time to read it, to be honest, but if it's saying how good they are or whatever, I look at what I've got in front of me, and like I said in the video, you can't always tell by looking at the outside of something if it's quality, but you can get a general gist of the overall quality of something. And if the filter doesn't fit in the bracket and they need to supply another bolt, that is pathetic engineering, and I don't care what the write-up says. Rubbish filters. Okay, so that's what my opinion is, where I'm at. If they want to make a decent filter, they can make it look decent. They can make the quality inside and out look decent, and they can have a damn filter that's the right size so it fits in the bracket. Even Ryco, they couldn't keep that bottom of that filter the right size to keep that bottom bracket on the underbonnet fuel filter on the Proto. So anyway, whatever. Next one. Yeah, that Hilux was a bit rough. Someone else has got one, 250k, nowhere near as untidy. It was very untidy. So is this he's talking about the brake pad thing. Is this the stuff you spray on the backing plate? No, it's not. Watch the video. Okay, why wouldn't you change the filter also? Here we go, to do with the oil, how to change engine oil. Why wouldn't you change the filter also? They are cheap and easy to change. You're filtering your fresh oil through an already dirty filter. Pointless changing the oil unless you change the filter. Filters are cheap compared to engines. Maybe you need to start an information channel on YouTube or something. So are you trying to say that if you don't change the filter, it's going to cost an engine? So let me get it right. If you do a 10,000k oil and filter change, your engine will be okay. But if you do the oil at 5,000 and not the filter, you're going to have problems with your engine. Is that what you're trying to say? Incorrect. Bzzz. Why wouldn't you change the filter? Because it's a waste of money. If a filter isn't anywhere near blocked at 10,000 Ks, why would you change it at 5,000? Because it's a waste of money, because it's a waste of effort, because it's a waste on the environment, it goes into landfill or whatever, right? So that's why. If you're worried about the amount of oil that may be still in it, there's a lot more in the engine, so that wasn't going to help you either. You think it's going to stop filtering because, hang on, you're using a dirty filter, but the only thing dirty about the filter is some of the particles in the element, which nothing's going to change there. So I hope you can understand that, right? So there's no need to change the filter, but that's why. Why wouldn't you change the filter also? It's just a waste, complete waste. So bada bing, we've answered that one. What am I doing wrong? I have 2012 does that when it's cold. Don't know what pads it has. Okay, well, You know, apparently it doesn't matter what pads it has, because the ones that were squealing in both vehicles, one's brand new, less than a year old, I should say, never been worked on. It's definitely got original Toyota brand pads in it. And the other vehicle, the reason we went from Bendix, as I mentioned in the videos, the Bendix rears, the DB1200s, do tend to wear out a bit quicker than genuine, which is why we went back to genuine, because I figured, well, it's cheaper if it lasts longer, right? If they last twice as long, they're cheap brake pads, and they do seem to be lasting longer, so that's confirmed, but with a squeal. But with this stuff, to be confirmed, it should be bada bing. Okay. I just got to pop up my weekly driving report is ready. Cool. I bet you if I click on that, then I've got to pay or subscribe to something to get the results. Anyway, I don't think there'll be a lot of driving going on at the moment. In Victoria, in Australia, lockdown, don't go anywhere within 5Ks, this and that, bada, bing, and all that stuff. So, yeah. So don't worry about what pads you got in there. Just, you know, you can try some of this gear if you like, or you can sit tight and wait and see if this grease situation works. We'll find out more about that. I remember the little blue sachets of grease. Okay. That Hilux again. Had plenty of ex-mining cars, cheaper work. I was told to stay away from. Yeah, that's about it. Look, if you get one, that's fine, but there's some work to do, and you need to have a budget. You've saved a lot of money. You need to have a budget to do some repairs. More great info and tips right to the end. Bingo. Okay, it's a write-off. Oh, it's not a write-off. Come on, it's not that bad. Just needs some work, mate. Needs some love. Will be awesome to see some more shockers like this. You want to see some shocking vehicles? Yeah, nah. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we got. You know, we try not to see the shockers anymore. That's the idea of the channel, the information. We're trying to change the automotive industry and obviously help you guys with the information so that you get the right parts, the right procedures, whether you got to do it yourself or you can go to the right people. And hopefully, if everybody gets on board with that, everybody else can understand, well, you know, you got to do it properly. You got to do it at a fair price, not rip people off. Don't rip yourself off either, guys, in the workshops. You know, don't do it. Don't worry too much and do it too cheap, trying to keep everyone happy. Can't keep everyone happy. It's what it is, right? So you don't need to, you know, the smoke and mirrors, like I said at the start, we don't need to pretend it takes longer or charge a bit more for this because you've got to be cheaper on that. Like, you know, you charge a lower hourly rate, but you say, you know, oh, it took an hour. Oh, it took 3 hours, you know. Well, hang on. Just make the rate fair and then make the time fair, I think, is the way to do it. But anyway, I found out the hard way about these vehicles. Ex-main road service vehicle from the Pilbara. Yeah, not good. Hilux had factory shocks at 385k. Yep. Oops. Thanks, Anthony. As a transition, I've been a symbol between the petrol and diesel. Can genuine trans cooler from petrol be fitted to a diesel? Often drivers self-sand, whatever. I don't know. I haven't done it. There's not enough V6, you know, not enough V6s around. Kind of like, why would you? Because you're going to have to buy one anyway. So just get the K-on one. If you want an auto cooler, like I said, I haven't said you need one or you don't need one. It all depends on the conditions. You need to listen to all the videos and you'll get the gist of it. I don't run auto coolers on our vehicles. Even on the 1GD, that the transmission shifting is not ideal. And the torque converter slipping, it makes a lot of heat. Well, we can manage that because we know the transmission temp. We've got it set up because we've realised that you need to know that. You need to know what it's doing in that vehicle. In the 1KD, it's good to have it for a little while, so for the people that don't know, so you can train yourself on what you need to do and what to do to avoid, you know, watching... sorry, I'm getting distracted. Watching the news here. How about we turn that off? Here we go. Bang. There you go. Yeah, so in the 1KD with the 5-speed, you can have a transmission temp, look at it a little bit, you get to learn yourself, but I've told you what you need to do. Keep the torque converter locked, okay? In the 1GD, different story. I mean, you know, a cooler is really a patch-up Band-Aid fix. I'm not into Band-Aid fixes, if you know what I mean. So it's really a software issue. You know, you could put a lockup kit, but that would mean modifying a new vehicle that could affect the warranty on an expensive item like a transmission. I don't like the sound of that. So you just leave it alone and let it cook, mate, you know, and I'm sure it'll be fine. It's Toyota and all that. So oil changes every now and then to help protect the transmission, because that's what, you know, from getting hot, that's what will damage the oil. So oil changes, you know, is all you need to do. If you want an auto cooler, absolutely. If the conditions you're driving in, then you hit up K-On. They've got the proper brackets, Australian made, and they've got the auto cooler. It all comes in a kit. All right, what else we got here? You mentioned in the past that you're interested in faster charging. I suggest you have a look at Wakespeed WS500. New technology replaced the alternator regulator. Okay, when I've got some time, I'll try and remember that. Deja vu, yep, that's it. I know what that's about. What's that? Copper grease. Oh yeah, copper grease. That's not a bad idea. So let's talk about the copper grease. We've got so we've got some copper grease here. Copperese, right? That's probably a good option in grease. As I was saying before, you don't want to use the sort of grease that gets hot and it, what's the word? You know how I can't get that word that I want sometimes? It puts out oil kind of thing. There's a word for it. But anyway, this stuff could be the go because it's not wet, you know what I mean? It's not wet and oily. It's kind of like that stuff, right? I have to have a look at it. And someone can put a comment here about the temperature it melts, that sort of thing. But I'd risk it on my vehicle to try that, right? I don't think that's going to melt at temperature. That's going to cause a problem on the back of the brake pads. Let me have a quick read of it. Yeah, 1,000 degrees, guys. Look, I'll show you on the back here. So my guesstimation was correct, right? Temperature range, 1,000 degrees, right? Non-melt. So bada bing. Your brake pads normally are going to be a few hundred degrees. They might get up to 500-600 degrees if you're really hard on them, but if you're going to get brake pads near 1,000 degrees, you're going to have not much brakes a long time before that. So there's the type of grease. You know, I said I was going to do some research on it earlier today. We just did some research by reading our own questions and answers all in one. So there you go, right? So Copperese could be the go. Disc brake white could be the go. We'll confirm with that. I'm not going to do any further research. I'm going to use that at the risk of whatever might happen. Okay. So yeah, a bit of copper grease on the back of the pads to stop the risk of squealing. Okay, that's cool. Okay, with you to the end. That's good. I think on one of the videos I said, you know, let me know if you're there till the end, because the people till the end, I'm going to note that name. Mark, okay, gotcha. Right, and there was someone else that said that too. Who else said that? Anyway, those names, the people that, you know, the same names keep coming up. They're the people that are going to know it all. So, okay. Do you reckon timing belt every 50? Okay. Do you reckon timing belt every 150k, or before that if it was last changed 5 years ago? Hang on. Do you reckon timing belt every 150k, or just do the timing belt every 150,000 k's? If you don't make 150k, then do your timing belt and everything every 8 years, right? So 8 years, because, you know, rubbers and belts and everything. Big front engine job is what we recommend, right? So, okay. Change for 120, changed at 150k in 2015, 200k at the moment. Okay, so another 3 years, all right? So there's the answer to your question. Hope you're watching. If you haven't already, guys, now might be a time to hit pause and subscribe to make sure you subscribe so you get your answers later on. You can buy just the OME pump. What's the OME pump? OME, old man EME, you know. You can buy just the OME pump. What's this? So we're talking about the water pump, just the, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so you're saying, yeah, it's $2 to $4 cheaper. So yeah, that's it. Why buy the whole thing? You're right, but different part number. I'll check that out. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just screenshot that and I'll check that part number for what's available and have a look at that. Thank you. Okay, when I use genuine pads from Toyota, my Fortune, it comes with a sachet of grease which needs to be applied on a certain seat. That's the thing, it doesn't need to be applied. It's kind of like, it's your insurance, I suppose, if you are one of those poxy slow braking drivers like me, because it doesn't usually happen. But yes, I hear what you're saying, sachet of grease which needs to be applied on certain points indicated in their instruction sheet. I've seen that as well. But I've got to say, I've got a set of genuine pads here. Let's just have a look at those. Most of them don't have any grease in the packet. It's just the pads, no grease, your piece of paper with your directions, right? Same as the rears. So some pads do come with it, obviously, maybe problematic stuff, whatever. But bada bing, here we go. What else we got here? Okay, meant to eliminate squeal. Yeah, probably works sometimes anyway. So yeah, prefer to use Bendix. Yeah, I kind of like do too, except for you know, except for when they don't work. Ultimates, they chew into you, make a lot of dust and chew in a lot. I don't even know if these are still around. Back when we used to do a lot of brakes, the CTs were clean. They did the job for most cars. We had those in a car that we took on Winton Raceway when we were doing some bike sessions and that. And at lunchtime we took the cars out and I was running those pads and I was unable to produce any brake fade. And you'll say you probably weren't going fast enough. Well, wasn't the fastest car on the circuit, but it was the fastest car on the circuit almost on the day. So the four-wheel drives are really good, higher temperature. Not a lot of difference going to the heavy duty either, right? So between those, not a big difference. Good pads, but then these really dust up and chew into things. So anyway, just giving you some information, what I know. It's probably all changed anyway. Don't do a lot of brakes anymore, so busy doing injectors. Anyway, I've seen lots of dodgy defects on aftermarket filters. Quality control is just not there. Even the more popular brands, I've seen filters with no thread, contamination new filter, packaging new sealing, O-rings not fitted correctly, rust, incorrect dimensions, you name it. Yeah. I've seen some stuff too, including on genuine. But anyway, not on Toyota filters though. I've never seen a problem with a genuine Toyota filter. So there you go. New, used, otherwise, let me think, making sure. Yep, no, can't think of anything. All right, what else we got here? That's why I use OEM branded filters only. Toyota Denso filters are one of the best quality air filter out there. A bit pricey, but you get what you pay for. Agreed. They are. Look, all filters are pricey. It's a big rip-off game, but you think about how often you need one. It's not that much money in the big scheme of things, unless you're going to be driving down dirt roads and sitting right behind the car in front of you. You're going to need one every day, sort of thing. It's going to get expensive. Then I could see why you'd be worrying about it. Good explanation about exhaust, handy little tips as well. Thought I'd seen it all when it comes to butchered work, then this pops up. Yeah, that was pretty butchered, that one. Non-genuine nozzle holder seals melt, they aren't like factory. Non-genuine nozzle holder seals melt, nah, come on mate. Look, I don't know, they probably do, yeah. Look, I'm not going to disagree with that. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I've probably only ever seen genuine ones in there. The ones that were in that vehicle, they'd been cut away or something, yeah. They'd either ripped them off with them in place, which is, they certainly got the cover on and off, but a little bit of information with that one for people that watch the video on that Hilux that had the pipes hanging off everywhere and all the mess and nuts and bolts missing and the nozzle holder seals that were cut away. Basically what had happened there, that was towed in. That came from, okay, so it initially went in for, I think, for an oil leak. This guy went in there, tried to fix the oil leak or something, put all these red mess everywhere. You have to go watch the video. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Let me have a look, see if I can. I don't know what it was called. Double disaster in a day. There you go. So search double disaster in a day. Watch that one, and you know what we're talking about. Yeah. It went back to the guy to fix the oil leak, and the next thing you know, drama. And anyway, luckily someone thought, oh, this doesn't sound right, and they got in contact with someone that knew a bit more about it, and bada bing, bada boom, you know, one way or another, it led back to the source, and it's all Mickey Mouse. But yeah, look, it was just, we won't talk about it too much. Makes you feel sick. Makes me feel sick. Okay, non-genuine seals. Be surprised how much power you can pull out of these engines, diesel. I wouldn't be surprised. I know what you can do, but I know how long it won't last. And you can get lucky, yeah, you can do all that. I understand that, yeah. I understand what you can pull out of engines, but these engines, they're not race cars. These are engines in touring vehicles where people want to reliably tour the outback of Australia and around Australia and do trips consisting of tens of thousands of kilometres at a time. They're not worried about pulling power out of them. We're kind of like, you know, we're not talking about WRXs or 200SX, you know, or a Honda Civic Type R or whatever the you know, buzz box of the month is anyway. So you're sort of talking about the wrong engine if you're trying to pull power out of a little diesel engine. But yeah, sure, you can do it, absolutely. Okay, no auto cooler. What's a trans-temp meant to sit on with the auto 1KZTE? Around about what the coolant temperature is. As I fitted aftermarket cooler, towing horse float and forms of trans. Also in Alice here, it's 40 all the time. Yeah, so, you know, around about the coolant temperature is ideal. About 80 would be good. With a cooler on your cold mornings, it's going to stay cool too long, and on the hot days, it's going to keep it a bit cooler, but it's going to get hot anyway because the source of the heat is the torque converter. So once you understand that, sorry, but you don't really need an auto cooler. Once you understand the operation of the transmission and keeping the torque converter locked, if you're in a situation where you can't do that, or it's, look, you just don't need it if you can understand how it works, really. So, but anyway, it's good business. So, rubbish or not? Okay, hi, can you please tell me the price of original injector return washer? If you want to know prices, shoot me a text message during school hours. The phone number's over there on that piece of paper. You know, if you haven't found it already, you'll have to zoom in to find it. It's on plenty of other videos, but the phone goes nuts school hours, so I'm not going any efforts to put the phone number. It's in other places as well. It's on our Facebook pages. It's all over the joint, right? So do your homework and you'll find it easy. If you're just fluffing around watching one or two videos and you haven't found it, you just need to keep watching and you'll be in business. And you'll get a lot more information that way, so you can make all the right decisions. All right, and yeah, we can supply you bulk, whatever you like. And I think I'll put a reply there. If you watch enough videos, you'll see the contact phone number in those, and there you go. So I just see how good am I? Double answer them. Okay. I don't understand how you remove the seals before taking the cover off. Seems impossible to me. Bada bing, you're the winner. 2KD is survival, because you shouldn't be able to do that. Now, there is a number of people that didn't watch the videos. Okay, so the deal is, people, you know, they decide they need to do their injectors. You know, it's not running right, or for whatever reason, and they go, okay, well, I'll get injectors off Ant because he's got the whole kit, everything you need, the backup service, the videos in the VIP group showing you how to do it, and they get the parts and they're in too much of a hurry. They get excited and they do the job before they watch the videos, and people have done it. Okay, so people have done it. You can do it. I don't know. I don't get it either, because you can quite clearly see, if you watch the basics, even my videos here on YouTube, you see enough of the engine to go work out most of your procedures. You're not going to get the really important parts unless you watch one of those tips and tricks type video. But yeah, you're right, 2KD survival, mate. Yeah, you got to take the nozzle seals out first. Okay, how do you deal with bent return line affecting alignment? How do you deal with it? Okay, you buy a new one, or you put it across a straight edge and you straighten it. They're quite strong. You can manipulate them, or you put your injectors in, you sit your return line on, you leave it loose, you align your injectors using the procedure we describe in the VIP group to align the injectors, then you lock them down, then you lock down your return line, and it will remold back to the shape it needs to be, because the only reason if it's bent is because someone's, you know, worked on it before and bent it. Wrong procedures. No, that's in another video. I won't go into it too much. So that's how you deal with that. We're just getting through. This is only 3 days ago, guys. This is going to take forever. We'll get through and answer some questions, though. I think we need to do this, like, you know, every 3 days. So make sure you keep watching all the videos all the way to the end. Watch all the ads. Don't skip anything. Spend all your time on the ads. I'll make some money out of this YouTube channel. I'll be able to do more videos, answer more questions, more detailed videos. It'll be all about videos. And, you know, I'll lose my job, mate. You'll retire me. I'll just be a movie maker, right? So we'll get really good at it. You just got to help, and also share, guys. Share the information. So on whatever, you know, social media page, groups, whatever, if you think you've got something that can help someone, share the video to them, share it to groups. Let's get it growing a bit, and we can put more information, more detailed information out there. Mine does this, got a 2012 GX, but only does it if I'm too hard on the throttle, like freeway on ramps. Love your videos, mate. Okay, what does it do? What video was that again? Flat spot fix. Yeah, the transmission software update. See, more handy information. Could be a different scenario, could be a different issue, you know, but yeah, who knows. As I described in that video, That's to solve that problem. Also be cool to see a video on how to replace the oil pan. So we're talking about on the 1KD, for example, which gasket sealant to get and how to apply it. Good point. I reckon we've got that, but it might have been, again, before YouTube days. Might have been on one of the Facebook groups. I reckon I've done a video on that. If not, certainly written post describing it. So I'll just quickly tell you. There's no gasket there. It's just use that ultra grey RTV sealant type stuff, you know, anything like it, RTV, right, you know, whatever. So this sort of stuff, that's what you use, right? Doesn't matter what brand, I don't care about the brand or whatever. Like it says here, rigid, torque and high vibration applications, whatever, right? Basically, undo those. Look, I don't want you taking it off to clean it unless it's blocked, right? So only if you got blow-by. You don't need to be taking sumps off. This is probably why I haven't told you and stopped telling people, because they all get excited and they go, oh, goody, goody, I'm going to rip my sump off and clean the oil pickup. And you don't need to clean the oil pickup unless it's blocked. So you drain the oil, you look through the hole, okay? And then if it's blocked, then you solve the problem changing the injectors and that, and then you clean it, right? So if it's a Prado, the sump sub-assembly is pretty easy to get off. It's a series of 10mm bolts and a couple of nuts or something. Can't remember, it's been a while. Been not that long, 6 months or a year, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the 10mm, I reckon there's about, I don't know, 14 of them at a guess. Torque setting, I can't remember either. I think it's about 8 or 9 Newton meters, because you've got your oil pickup in there, which is a couple of nuts, and it's about 8 or 9 Newton meters as well. So basically, yeah, you take your nuts and bolts out. There's a special tool to crack the seal, which you're not going to have, so you can use something like a big flat blade screwdriver and you gently edge it in at the back of the sump sub-assembly. Don't crack the alloy, and just gently tap it in and lever, and you know, and it'll just crack the seal and it'll come away, and then you take that, clean it all up, clean all that stuff off both sides, right? Let all the oil drip off and that, you know, you drained your oil first. Then you can take your oil pickup off. If it was blocked, take it out and clean it and blow it all dry, make sure all the little bits are gone, you know. And then put that back up. Like I said, reuse the gasket, I've always done, no problem. I think it's, I don't know if it's 8 or 9. I know one's 8 and one's 9, so close enough anyway. You could do 10, it wouldn't matter, right? There you go, I've given you permission, 10 Newton meters. Someone might think that's wrong, but I'm just trying to say things like that, it just doesn't matter that much, okay? Don't leave it loose or 5 or 6. You know, get it up there, 8 to 10 Newton meters on all these bolts. The main thing is evenly when you put the sump back on. So oil pickup back on, make sure you don't lose that gasket. Just nip those up nicely. You can do the 9 Newton meters if you want. And then when you put the sump on, you're just going to put a nice thin bead of ultra grey around all the way along the middle, but you've got to go either side of the holes, right? So go both sides of the holes so that you certainly haven't got any leaks or anything like that. And again, 9 Newton meters. Let's keep it simple, 9 and 9. There you go. You can double check that. I've got diagrams. You sure? I reckon I've done a video on that. You've got to search my channel. I reckon ages ago. I remember something about diagrams, and I've definitely done it a number of times anyway. So that's that. So there you go. It'd be good to see a video on how to replace it. I'm going to try not to do a video on that because I don't want to take another pan off. I haven't seen a blocked oil pickup for a long time, and that's good news, okay? Years ago, we used to see blocked oil pickups and problem after problem after problem. What I'm doing must be working because I'm not seeing anywhere near as many problems. Every now and then we see one of those butchered vehicles. That's the sort of people, they're too busy to do any research. When their customer or their friend probably shared a video from my channel and said, here mate, check this out. And he's too busy to watch it, so he didn't learn anything. Anyone that watches a half-decent video, one of my videos that's okay, goes, oh yeah, well, let me have another one, let me have it, and you get addicted to it because it's good information and it's what it is. It's experienced information. So yeah, let's not worry about cleaning oil pickups unless you have to. Now on the Hilux, different story. The sump's all one piece, hard to get to. You got to lift the engine, muck around, lots of work. Not worth it. We don't do that either. You may as well pull the engine out, put a new engine in it. We got a series of small brushes that we use going through the hole to clean the oil pickup in the Hilux through the sump hole. It's a messy crap job as well, okay? So don't leave your injectors in too long and get blow-by because you're cleaning it, not me, okay? Never again. There you go, like E-jar cleaning, you can do that too, right? That's why there's a video. So, next one. Top bloke always squeezes in the time to pass on extremely informative information. Thanks again, love you, mate. Okay, you get a love heart for that one. If it works for me, come on. Come on. There you go, you got a love heart. Okay, yeah, that's it, mate. Like now, the time. What are we up to? 35 minutes for you guys. So like I said, make it worthwhile. Please share it around so it's worthwhile for everyone. Oh, here's one swearing. If you can try not to swear in the comments, because well, this says, he did this shit job, this is absolutely shit, better just do nothing. You're right, and I put it up because I want to make a point, right? So what we're going to do, that's good, it's there, but we're going to remove it, and we're going to go remove, right? Because we just don't need to swear. Say crap, I'm okay with crap. That's a crap job. Say dodgy, say that's flipping. Like a friend of mine, he, instead of saying effing, he says flipping. So we know when you say flipping, you mean effing, right? But technically you're not swearing, right? So you can go flipping heck. It's like saying effing whatever, right? So there's a way to do it, all right? This one's B. I don't know what that is, but anyway, thanks anyway. Can I leave front and back diff plus transfer case or without change conservative driving? What are you trying to be a tight ass? Can I leave front and rear? Are you trying to say diff oil? Can you leave front and rear diff oil and transfer case without oil change? Stop being a tight ass. Come on, man. It's a few litres of oil. Just take it to someone that knows what they're doing and get the job done, please. You know, like, you know, it's every 40,000 Ks, guys. You know how long that is? That's like 2 years for most people. And if it's, what, oh, you do that in 6 months? Well, I'll tell you what, mate, you better do it then, because if you're doing 40,000 every, that's 80,000 a year. That means you're going to have the car long enough, most likely, that you're going to have problems because you're not doing oil changes. So do the oil changes. Stop trying to save money by cutting things out. Can you do that? No, you can't. Okay, it's lubrication, right? Preventative maintenance. Okay, thanks for the video. Right. Thanks for saying thanks. Here we go. Love heart for you too. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. My Toyota injector failed when it was 2 years old. 12,000 the clock. Yeah, seems like contamination, but anyway. Oh, that's way too long. We haven't got time for that in this one. Sorry, guys. Camping shops, got dunny paper, expensive stuff, but what was that in relation to the suspension? I can't remember that video, so I don't know. Anyway, cool. When adjusting these ones, do they need to be taken off the vehicle? In those ones, well, depends what these ones. Look, if you want to adjust the monos, yeah, the weight needs to be taken off the spring seat, yes. Haha, well, look at that. Come on, the Westgate needs some popcorn for watching these videos. That's right, that was corn everywhere. That's it. Sorry, you had to read it. You got to read the comments, guys, if you want to get the jokes as well. Can you recommend a good workshop in Brisbane, Bayside area? I don't know about the Bayside. I don't know where people are. We've got a couple of guys in Brisbane. Look, you know, I try not to share people too publicly, because then they're going to get pumped too busy. So it's always best to ask on one of our Facebook groups, and it all depends what mood I'm in, whether I'm going to just reply there or I'll say shoot me a text message, right? And you know, yeah, of course we do, right? Great video. Off to watch the more detailed ones. Good on you. Probably someone tried to work on their own vehicle and realised it was a bit. No, it wasn't. That was a mechanic that did the double disaster in a day. Hello sir, can you tell me what is different between 1kd and 2kd? Yep, not much. 30% nozzles. Mint. Yeah, you feel the same meatheads helping halving 30% injectors. Yeah, that's it. That's about right. iDrive unit solved the problem. What was that? Flat spot. Oh, look, it might hide. Again, Band-Aid. You're talking Band-Aid fixes. We don't do Band-Aid, so it might fix the problem, but just get the software update. Get the iDrive as well if you want. Pros and cons about iDrives. I think we've got a video on that. Probably got a few videos talking about iDrive, so go ahead and have a look at those. Auto cooler, what happens if the torque converter runs cooler than specs? Is this an advantage? Torque converter runs cooler than specs. I'm not sure what you mean. It's just going to run at what it's going to run at. How can it run? There's no specification for what the torque converter is going to run at, so I'm a bit confused as to what you mean there. Sorry. P0046 and 1251 for me. That'll be a turbo. Perfect timing for the video. Just a question if I can get a new turbo in this lockdown time. Yeah, give me a call. We'll be able to get one for you. No dramas. If you're around anyway, we can send you a turbo. It is hard to get things because obviously certain things are locked down or whatever. You just got to know someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone, and things can happen. But of course, it would need to be an emergency type repair, like, you know, urgent. And, you know, if you need your vehicle to drive to the shops to get food to survive, then it's urgent, isn't it? So basically that opens it up to all mechanical repairs because people need their cars to go places, especially in Melbourne's winter. It's cold, raining and that sort of thing. You can't be expected to walk 5Ks. So, yeah, because it could be 5Ks away, right? You're allowed to go 5Ks, whatever. Anyway, also, do you install an oil catch? Come on, mate, keep watching videos. How often should one do a proper carbon clean? Keep watching videos. These newbies, I don't know. Yep, exactly what my... Okay, so you get the transmission update if that's what your 2011 150 does. Perfect. Good info. 2-speed every time watch. Yeah, that's it. Good info. Speed 2. Yeah, what are you going to watch it twice, you mean, I think? Yeah. 30% nozzles. How do you get 30% nozzles? You don't worry about it. Flat spot fix. I would do this on Hiace. Well, this is Prado, so I can't help you. Just remap, talk to the special, whatever. What's that in relation? Anyway. Agreed, most likely the pads solved a similar problem, squealing. Yep. I agree. Okay, just going through seeing if there's any questions before we finish up. 5 minutes. Yeah, shortest video. Holy moly, 5 minutes. There you go. I think I must have done a short video. Hey, guess what? A couple of short videos popped out today or yesterday. So there you go. Stop the soft voice. Didn't you like the soft voice? You know, you just need to talk quiet and calm and just talk really nice, okay? We just want it to be really peaceful and quiet. You know, we'll get rid of that soft voice, eh? How about we put the nasty voice on? I want my money. Give me money. No, we can't do that either because we'll be getting a bit crazy. So, yeah, put a few voices on every now and then, but you know. Haha, just stop the soft voice. Not fitting, tough guy. Nozzles, shozzles, exactly. Rotate mine every time I drive. Yeah, good on you, mate. That's funny. Every time I drive from Untitled to Perth and back, like, you know, you go down the road and back, rotate them again. Yeah, funny guy. Yeah, it's getting a bit boring for me. 12:51 by the far most. Okay, good feedback. Most of the high-ace vans, most of the time it's a stick and control on vanes or a brush problem in the DC motor. That's it. Thanks for the feedback as well. Good video. Thanks in the what to look out for. Most common DCS. Thanks for the vid. Question comes up over and over again. Yep. I had P0500 pop up the other day. Any thoughts? Vehicle speed sensor. Any thoughts? No. I tell you what my thoughts are. Yes, I've got thoughts, right? As soon as you get a code pop up that's not normal, I go, who's worked on the car? What aftermarket modifications have you had? Or who's been driving it out bush? So I think damage. If you've got a speed sensor, P0500, vehicle speed sensor, I'm thinking someone's been off-road and damaged a wire, someone's worked on it, pulled a plug, transmission or something's been out or somewhere on there, or whatever, someone's yanked on a wire. Straight away I think damage because it's Toyota, these things don't happen. That is my thoughts. So you got your answer there. Oh, here we go. 27 years in the motor trade. This is the first time I hear that it's okay not to replace the filter with an oil change. Where you been, mate? Of course it's okay to change the filter. It's not okay if you're going to take the filter beyond its service life, because most people are just doing their 10 or 15,000k oil changes. Then it's not okay, because the life of an oil filter is about 15,000 kilometres. That's about how long they'll last on most engines. So 10,000 is fine, and 5,000 is absolutely fine, because your oil's virtually still clean anyway, and the filter's probably done about 2% of what it's capable of, to be quite honest, you know. So especially if people have got that EGR solution, they'll stay in heaps cleaner and all that. So yeah, of course it is. And if you can't get your head around that, I feel sorry for you. 27 years, really? Of course you can change your oil and not the filter. been doing it in our vehicles, and heaps of people doing it in customers' cars for decades, and they're all still going. Is there a negative to doing that? Like I said to the other comment, would you rather just leave the oil in the filter there for 10,000? So you're telling me you can't understand the advantage of putting new oil in at 5,000 Ks, but not wasting your time or money on the filter? You don't understand that? Anyway, I'm sure not everybody will agree with that point, but you know, it's pretty straightforward common sense. Most people are going to get it, right? So normal, change your oil filter at 10,000 Ks, but here we go, we're going to just whip the oil out and put new oil in at 5,000, because the oil is the lifeblood of the engine, not the filter. The filter's still filtering. It's good for 10, it's good for 15. The same filter, see those filters sitting there in the picture, these things here? Overseas, 10,000 miles, that's 16,000 Ks, right? No problem, they still work. So why would you change it at 5,000 Ks? You're flushing 20 bucks down the toilet. Hope that helps, Andrew. Now, cheap, quick, and easier to do so. Easy enough to do so. Cheap, but it's just a waste, right? So it's not about the money. It's only 20 bucks. It takes effort, and it's another cost on the environment that's unnecessary. Okay, so 3 reasons: money, time, and environment. Okay, so I hope you understand that. Hope that helps. Dusted airbox or not? Right on the money, mate. Being from Melbourne, it was fun watching someone driving further than 5K. Yeah, I don't know when that was, but anyway. Modern diesels are garbage. Your videos confirm it, mate. You are dreaming, mate. You need to go and watch some more videos. These are not garbage. They're bloody awesome. People working on them are garbage. But anyway, no tyres should be rotated with first doing a proper wheel alignment in capital letters. And even if your tyres are worn, even if you should ask for your wheel alignment, what? Even if, look, totally disagree. Why would you not rotate tyres without first doing so you want to do a wheel alignment, but there's nothing wrong with it. So you got a new car, tyres are wearing perfectly. You've driven on a set of tyres 20,000 Ks, they've got perfect wear, and you're just rotating them because it's done 20,000 Ks. But you wouldn't do it without a wheel alignment. Okay, well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I disagree. First doing a proper wheel alignment, and if your tyres are worn, uneven, you should ask for your wheel alignment wire. Yes, that's right, I agree with that. If your tyres are worn, and you can't figure out from watching all my videos, which has explained how your tyres are wearing and why and which ones and where and all that sort of thing. So if you can't figure it out, maybe you can ask why, but you've got to be careful who your wheel liner is, because you're most likely going to get a wrong answer. So that's the problem. People ask me, not their wheel aligners. Unfortunately, they stay away from them. Do you know anyone that can do a good wheel alignment? We'll be looking in the comments of this one. So yeah, get your pen and paper, write down that one, because you've got a few comments to make. Keep them short. Let's keep them separate as well. So if you've got comments on different subjects, maybe separate comments, just so that, you know, so you can go, my wheel liner is such and such, been using it for 10 years, definitely 100%, does an awesome job. That's fine, we'll put that up. And if you've got a comment on something else, then just maybe do a separate comment, because if they get too long, I know I haven't got time to sort of read them all. Now, it goes on though. Wheel alignment, if your tyres are worn even, if you tyres are worn uneven, put the good tyres on, what would happen to them? Yeah, if your tyres are worn, you're going to do a wheel alignment. We're talking about tyres that aren't worn. We're talking about a rotate. We're not talking about wheel alignments, right? What did the video say? Best time to rotate tyres. See that? Best time to rotate. Nothing to do with wheel alignments, okay? Thanks anyway, Jeff. But if your tyres are wearing perfectly fine, you can rotate your tyres. And that's standard service by the manufacturer handbook. What should happen, this is what should happen, is the technician inspects the tyres and will recommend a wheel alignment if required. Again, it's that wasting. You're sending people out to do wheel alignments. A proper wheel alignment shouldn't be 30, 40, 50 bucks either. A proper wheel alignment's going to be either side of 100. It's going to take time to do, depending what vehicle and if the whole camber, cast and everything's adjustable, and if they can get it right, you know, and this is the problem, as I said. So, it's the other way around, you know. When it's working right, don't let them touch it, you know. If you mustn't work on many cars, mate. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you think that because all the tyres you see are always wearing, they always need a wheel alignment. That's probably because whoever did the wheel alignment didn't do it right in the first place. Was that you, Jeff? Did you do those wheel alignments and they're coming back to you? Well, maybe they all do need a wheel alignment. See what I mean? Anyway, thanks, mate. Great to learn more. Busted glow plug. Yep, get the glow plugs in. Right, that's 6 days ago, guys. Mate, 50 minutes to do 6 days. Great video. Thank you. Mine have been in 16 years. Didn't realise tips would break off regular service. Blowing smoke. Starts perfectly anyway. Goes on a bit. Didn't actually see a question there. Loving hearing about the weird profiles. Cracks me up. Hey mate, love your videos. I know you mentioned in previous videos, wondering if your workshop is and if you are working on Hiluxes in Ballarat. Mate, I've got someone for you, so just shoot me a text message. You'll find the phone number if you search around the videos and Facebook groups and pages, or ask someone that's in the know. Have I got much knowledge of Land Cruiser and Proto KDSS? Yeah, fair bit, really, a little bit. Mediocre. My light comes on. Yeah, not much experience with lights coming on. Never had an issue with it. Just, the lean thing that some people get, with KDSS, Head job it is. Sounds good to me. Thank you. Informative indeed. Appreciate your videos. Great timing. 6mm bolts. Awesome explanation. Was that me asking for a confirmation on something? 6mm bolts. Yeah, I can't remember anyway. Explanation of everything. 1kz. The old toe poke tyre test. Yep. Good oil pressure. Good video. Nice job, mate. Well detailed. That's a week ago, guys. We've done a week, all right? So I think that's it. We've answered as many questions as we can. Had a bit of a chit chat. For those people that got nothing better to do, filled in the time. Again, looking forward to see the comments at the end saying, mate, I watched the whole thing, so I got all the answers. And if you're one of the people that got an answer you didn't like, just have a think about it, because, yeah, you can. There's at least 2 people that want to change filters when they change oil. You can do that if you like. That's wasteful. It's a waste of money. It's wasteful. It's a waste cost on the environment. And bada bing. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, guys, subscribe, turn that bell on, and we'll have something even more interesting coming your way soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.